Hello, everyone. You are really smart, and you are experienced, and we want to hear from you throughout our time together, not just from people who have a microphone in front of them. One of the ways that we're making it possible to hear from you during our time together, not just during this particular presentation, but throughout the next few days, is through a tool called Mentimeter. It requires you to get out your phone. And it's okay if I'm doing my presentation and I see you on your phone. I will not be offended. And so I'd like to invite you now to get out your phone and to open a browser and go to menti.com. And we will practice for the first opportunity to do this. So I'll just take a second to do this. For future opportunities, you might just see something on the screen, and you might or might not be prompted by someone up front. But anytime you come in and see something on the screen about Menti, feel free to go in and participate. I'm going to be talking with you about a communications tool that we just created. One of the most frequent challenges that I hear from people is that it's kind of hard to communicate about trauma healing, to explain what it is, how it works, why it matters, how to get involved, basic questions like that. And so we've created something that we believe you could take and customize for your ministry and for your context. So I'd like you to go to this site, enter that code, and answer this question. What are your biggest challenges in communicating about trauma healing? And then my hero, Jerry, is going to switch the screen so that we can actually see your responses popping up. You can see in the bottom right of the screen that 11 people have responded so far. 12, 13, anyway, I won't count. And this will allow you to see other people's responses as well. So there's two benefits to this. One is that we can all participate and you can get a voice and you can see what other people are saying. But secondarily, we can also go back and look at these, and as we're creating tools for the global community of practice, we can have your input and feedback based on these. So even if we move on from this slide, please continue to go ahead and put in your response here. So what qualifies as trauma? Great question. Anyway, thanks, Jerry. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the tool for you, and then we'll have one more opportunity, so keep your phone ready to go. So what I'm going to show you is something that will be made available to you that will walk you through those basic questions of what is trauma healing, how does it work, why does it matter, how do we get involved. This is the intro. We're Trauma Healing Institute. You can all this is customizable. You can replace your own ministry name here. You can update this. Some of the principles that we had in mind as we created this was, number one, keep it simple. Number two, make it work for the whole church. Number three, make it so that people who are not familiar with church language can understand it. Or people who've been hurt by church language, that they wouldn't be hurt by the way that this is worded. So if you want to turn up the volume on Scripture, you can add Bible passages to this, or you can kind of turn up the volume on churchy language if that fits your context. But know that we've designed this to be very honest about the fact that this is rooted in Scripture and that this is an act of God in the heart of people in community. But we've also tried to make it keep it very simple and clear. So I'll just run through real quick. Rather than talk about it, I'll actually show it to you. Some experiences in life are so painful that they cause deep and lasting suffering. That suffering is what we call trauma. Trauma is a deep wound of the heart that takes a long time to heal. It hurts every part of us, our relationships, our bodies, our thoughts, and our faith. But God is with everyone who suffers. God feels our pain with us, and God helps us heal. The light of love is stronger than the darkness of trauma. This is why we have hope. Trauma Healing Institute provides a way for suffering people all over the world to find healing in the midst of their pain. With the strength and support of others, they experience God's nearness and love. Our method is simple. It brings a group of people together in a safe place where they can help each other heal. As they meet together, people in a healing group learn how to talk about their own pain and listen to the pain of others. In healing groups, people discover that they are not alone. They find comfort for their hearts and minds in God, who cares for all of us, and in a community that walks the road of healing with them. There are 5 characteristics of this method that make it uniquely effective. So here we get into the distinctives of this particular approach to trauma healing for the church. First, it brings together proven mental health practices and the wisdom of the Bible in a way that's accessible to everyone. This is something that would be, if you remove either the biblical component or the mental health component, you would not have this trauma healing program. I'm going to go more quickly through these. Is that what you're telling me? Oh, sorry. Second, it's designed for anyone to use with simple language and clear ideas that are easy to understand. Third, it happens in small groups led by trained facilitators who don't need to be professional counselors. Fourth, it uses a participatory format to help people engage deeply with themselves, with God, and with each other. Fifth, it's adaptable, so people can use it anywhere in the world in any language or culture. I know I'm going quickly through this, but the idea is not to have you memorize this entire thing or to fully soak it in, but mainly to expose you to it so that you can get a sense of what we're trying to accomplish, whether this would work for you, and how valuable this might be for you, and what advice you might have for us. This isn't fully baked yet, but it's getting close, and so we thought it would be good to show you so that we can get your feedback about how helpful this might be. We go on to talk about communities and how the same thing, the same process that happens within the heart of an individual happens within the systems of families and communities. We talk about the materials. At the heart of our method is a book called Healing the Wounds of Trauma, which contains a set of practical lessons that lead people on a journey of healing. At the heart of the book is the Bible, which tells us about the love of God. And again, you can customize this for your own. So it really highlights the participatory nature of this, the community setting, the importance of the church, and the fact that this is a journey, that we're not just cranking out healed people. If you go through this equation, you will be healed, but that this is really a process. So we help people and organizations come together to support one another in the work of trauma healing. We call those groups communities of practice. Like we talked about last year, this event that you're at is not the community of practice. You are the community of practice. You're a community. And this is the community of practice gathering. And so what we're trying to highlight here is that there are communities of practice regionally that are developing, maturing around the world. So using your Mentimeter tool, and if you didn't do it the first time and you want to do it this time, again, just open a browser and go to menti.com, use that code, and help us get a sense for how useful would this communications tool be for you or your ministry. We could provide this to you in an editable PowerPoint so that you could show this when you're going to introduce this to someone. We could provide a PDF for you that you could print out, and we could probably get this into or you could email. eventually this kind of language, as we develop it, will help us reframe our website and other material. So as you see, 71, wow, you guys are great. 72 people have responded so far, and we're getting an 8.6 out of 10. So that's a positive. But feel free to find me over the next few days. If you have any questions or advice or guidance about how we can make this tool as effective as possible for you, I would really love to hear from you. Thank you so much.